Hey, this week we're with Tim McComas with Brushworks. He's a pinstriper lettering guy that just does phenomenal work. And then he's going to take us for a private tour of the American Sign Museum. He's part of that deal over there. Really cool. Okay, hey, I met Tim years ago at the Carl Casper shows. You know, you guys have seen some videos of me doing the Carl Casper shows. And Tim's one of the guys that always hangs out down there, pinstripes cars, as part of that charity deal that Shane Six and them all put on. So Tim, tell us a little bit about how you got started in pinstriping and lettering.
Well, kind of all started back in 1972. Okay. Graduated high school. Got what I thought was going to be a summer job at a little sign shop that did mostly screen printing.
Okay.
I worked there for 15 years. That's what helped me with my lettering, my layouts and everything. I'm more on the job. I ended up going to night school instead of day school. Got used to a little bit of money. And so after working there for 15 years, I decided we'd gone as far as we could with that company. It was a family-owned business, and I wasn't part of that family. So I kind of stepped out on my own, started Brushworks. I'd been doing a little bit of signage here and there for other people. They knew back then everything was done with a brush, and they knew if you painted signs, they'd call you up, hey, can you do this sign for me? So I eased into it real easy and just sort of let it happen, let it grow. Depended on word of mouth for my growth. And 38, 39 years later now, fast forward, this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm semi-retired and still playing around because I like doing what I do.
He is a phenomenal artist. This guy comes up with some really neat stuff. Show us this little project you're working on here now. You started
just getting started on a little panel here now for the Indianapolis World of Wheels. It'll have a car on there, pinstripe design, and it'll say Indy World of Wheels on there, 2025 at the bottom. It's kind of roughed on there. It's a little bit hard to see, I guess, but just one of the things that I get ready, and they'll auction off and try to raise some money for juvenile diabetes over there.
So tell us a little bit about how you do your work, because it's all pretty much with paint brushes and paint, but you can't really bring every job to you. You pretty much have to go out and do the jobs.
Right. I've kind of been always a home-based shop. I never really wanted employees. I kind of went through that headache when I worked for the other company. So I always wanted to be on my own. I knew 2 or 3 other individuals that had their own shop. They were all home-based, and we kind of networked back then and passed work around and helped each other out. But yeah, I go on site to do a lot of my tow trucks and some of the larger equipment and stuff that I letter. It's probably scary if you were to climb into my head. I don't think you'd like it in there, but anytime I'm doing something, I try to come up with other things that are different than just the normal pinstripe panel. So I did kind of a panel on a panel on a panel, and worked that up for the Indianapolis show. And it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something a little different.
Well, and then you're part of the American Sign Museum too. You kind of help out down there.
I go down there whenever they need me, really. We've done some complete restorations on a couple signs. I was one of the many involved in the expansion that just took place here last May. And then, yeah, they're always hitting me up to do some little job or another. And it's always something different, always something fun.
So he's going to treat us today. We're going to take a little drive over. We're going to check out the American Sign Museum and check that place out. Kind of excited about that. I've heard a lot of neat things about it. boys. Okay, we're here at the American Sign Museum in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I come out here with Tim, and he's friends with the founder of this museum, and we were lucky enough to meet Todd here. Todd here's the founder and creator of all this. Tell us a little bit about how this all started.
Thanks, Jeff. Glad you're here. Actually, this is my midlife crisis project, okay? I wrote for a magazine called Signs of the Times for about 28 years. It's a magazine that sign companies read. So magazine actually goes back to 1906, and my great-grandfather was the editor of the first issue. So this was my family's business. I am a collector. I took a lot of history in college. Certainly love the sign industry. You kind of put those three pieces together and end up with a sign museum. So I started working on this in '99. We just expanded another 20,000 square feet, so we're now at about 40,000 square feet.
Yeah, this place is unbelievable. If you get a chance to get out here to Cincinnati and check this place out, come see it.
Collaborated on this window with a couple other guys to do the border and everything. They weren't into doing any pinstriping. There were probably 29, 30 of us that helped with the expansion to do all the window lettering and door lettering and stuff. And out of that 29 or 30, there were only 2 guys in here that could do any pinstriping, me being one of them.
Okay.
So I got...
Tell us about that neon sign that you just told
me about. The East
about.
End Cafe was a local cafe here in Cincinnati. The sign was coming down, and the building was going to be demolished. So they brought the sign here, Todd got it, and we actually completely restored that. Needed a little bit of metalwork repair, got repainted, got relettered, and then the neon put in. And it did get loaned out as a movie prop. I don't know, shortly after, before it went up here. They made money, a little bit of money back on it, renting it out. So it's a fun sign to do and figure out how it was done, because it was turquoise green background with white letters, very different than what we have going on with the dark green and all the outlines and bullnose extra color that we put onto it that we believe is appropriate for the time period. We couldn't find any color pictures to give us a definitive reference. So